Hey everybody, it's Michael DeSilvis with DeSilvis Media, the Freedom Network. And I wanted to give you an update. Stuart came over here with the phone today, and he was very mean and very arrogant and very forceful about telling me about my mother, forbidding me not to have nothing to do with her and not to see her anymore. And like I said to her, and I left the message on the phone, I don't know if he heard it, but I guess he told her, because he's controlling, told her not to listen to the message because he's ordering her. But what she fails to realize is that she's responsible for that contract because her name's on that contract legally, and she's legally and solely responsible for that contract. So I'm going to turn the phone off, and I'm going to have AT&T send her a letter. And if she does not pay the contract, then I will be taking, I hate to take my own mother to court, but because she's acting like a pagan and not, acting like a Christian, the Bible does say about to not take people to court, to avoid that, but if they act like a pagan or a tax collector, then you need to treat them as such. So that's what I'm going to do. I have to pay bills, and you just can't get out of bills because you don't like something. You got to face up to it like an adult, and you got to pay bills because that's called being responsible as a person. And even if you're in it with a family member, does not give you any right to treat them any differently, or to think that you deserve to get out of it because you are a parent or a sibling. Because the bills and responsibilities still all apply. And in a court of law, that's what a judge would say. Because if you have signed on to a contract for 2 years, which is 24 months, you're responsible for the duration of the contract. If you get out of the contract because you don't want to pay something when you weren't really paying much of it anyway, I was doing you a favor. A big favor, Mom. Like giving you the phone for $30 a month, and I said that's what you wanted to pay because that's all you wanted to pay. But yet you can have all these things, and you can buy things for your friends, and you can have all these parties and go on vacations and all this stuff. But yet you can't pay me $10 more, and yet you're willing to lose my relationship. As a son being with you, what does that say about you being a Christian? What does that say about you being a mother, a good mother? It doesn't say good very high, and it doesn't make it look good in God's eyes either. Because God doesn't teach that. God teaches about love. And that's what you need to realize and revisit. And I think you need to look at your values because they're in the wrong place. Because that Rock Church, it sounds like a nice church, but it seems like it's too lenient on a lot of things. And I think that's why you're the way you are and why Stuart's the way he is. And by the way, Stuart had some porno DVDs that were in the cupboard where the components are, where he keeps them, because I saw them there stashed. And I saw them there above the DVD player when I was over there last week. And I just looked because I just want to see if he was not looking at him, because she tells me that she's not looking at him, but she also told me, he's still looking at him because he's heard him. My mother has heard him on there watching him. Then, you wanted him to be a soldier of the Rock Church, and yet he's still looking at porn even though he said he's not looking at it. So somebody's lying here, and it's not me. And my mom, she might lie about it because she's being controlled by a controlling husband. And by the way, Deb, you have a controlling husband too. So, of course, he probably tells you what to do too, right? Yeah, that's probably what he does, right? Because that's, God says for people to treat each other equally, not where the husband tyrants over their wife as for submission or demands it from her, when it's supposed to be equally given and received by each other, is what Jesus says. But the world and in the churches, like you all say it's been taught a long time ago, the reason why they say it's been taught a long time ago is because people that are in control don't want to admit that they're that way, so they say, they'll discredit it because they don't want to hear the truth about the way it's been set up by Jesus. So a lot of people will say that, but when it comes to submission, it's supposed to be where a man is the head of the household just as equally as the wife is. However, the man is the spiritual leader of the home, but that does not make him qualified to be a dictator of the home, or it does not make it qualified for a woman to be that either. So it goes both ways in that, because there are women that are that way too. So that's one thing we have to get straight. In Romans 13, it doesn't teach us concept, even though a lot of churches of Christ do teach us. It's out of context, it's wrong, and it goes against what the Bible really essentially teaches. Now, I know I said some things. We all said some things. I know my mom's probably said I'm the baddest son in the world, and that how dare I raise it on her, and how I'm causing her all kinds of harm. Well, I have $41. I was wrong about it being $38. My rent went up $41. That's a big jump. And even though I don't pay a lot in money over here, I have other bills to pay. And I don't understand why she can't pay $10 more, because that's the right thing to do to help her son out. I'm not asking her to pay all my bills. I'm just asking her to give me $10 more. He comes over here and demands and tells her, I don't want you to see her or come over there or have anything to do with her. If you are over there, something's going to happen. And he come in my apartment like that, demanding, telling me that I can't see my mother when it's not his place because he's not even my father and he has no right to tell me anything. Because that's my mother, and if I want to see her, I'm going to see her, whether he likes it or not. But the thing is, I still love you, Mom, but I don't like the way you're acting. And it's not Christian-like. And if you listen and you really pray and you listen to what God says instead of what your son is, what your husband is telling you, who's controlling and who loves this because he wants it, because I actually told on him when he was in my room looking at the porn on those teenagers and young teeny boppers on the computer, and I told you about that because he was trying to go to a site where he could try to hook up on one of them. He's still mad about that, and I know he is, but I don't care if he knows because he's shamed me and defamed me, and that's why I don't have no business here. I know he's behind all that. You know how I know? Because I have intel and I have friends in high places, and they told me he's the one that did it. And you allowed him to do it, so you're just as guilty too. So, you need to realize you get your priorities in the right place and be back with God and get out of that Church of the Rock. It's a bad church because they're too lenient on a lot of things. And that's what's wrong with you. When things are going bad, like when we were going to mechanics school, when they were finding out all these things that were happening that were being said about me that they find out wasn't true, when they did the background check, everything was fine. That's when everything started turning around on you all because they realized what you were saying wasn't matching up because it wasn't in my file to indicate all this stuff that was being said, allegedly. So what I'm saying to you is this. You need to realize what you're doing and stop it. And if family members are doing this, I want to say this to the family. You need to stop it because what you're doing to me is unjust, it's wrong, and God is going to make you pay for it. And if you don't stop and don't repent, you're going to be burning in hell for what you're doing because what you're doing is slanderous and it's wrong and it's not warranted or necessary. So, I love you, Mom, but like the Bible says, when you can't talk to somebody or get through people because of the way they're acting like a Nimrod, you got to move on, and that's how you're acting. And I don't know why all this is all because you said you wouldn't have nothing to do with me if I turned the phone off. You brought the phone over here, but you know what? You're still responsible for the contract because your name is on that contract. So legally, you are responsible to pay that contract out. It's $250. You also need to pay me also for this month because you didn't pay through from July 13th to August 13th, and you still owe for this month $30, by the way. So you need to get that money to me, and if you don't do this, I will take legal action. I'm not going to let you ruin my credit with AT&T or my business. You've already ruined it by smearing my name, telling people I don't know how to do this stuff when I have 3 certifications. I've gone to school. I've got more education than you and Stuart have both together. And I do know what I'm doing, and I do know this job, and I do know how to do it, and I don't make up stuff or embellish this stuff. I have books over here. I have stuff. I have certificates over here, which is something none of you all have in anything. And I'm saying this because I'm fed up with this mess. And that's why I need to move on. And that's why I love you, but I'm just going to have to love you at a distance because of your ways. Until you change, I can't be around you, Mother, anymore because of your actions and the way you are. You're wrong, and I want to say this on the record because it's my channel, and I can say this because it's true. I don't care what the family thinks. I don't care what they say because they don't know what they're saying. They don't know half of what they're talking about because they don't know all the facts. They only know how you present it by saying, oh, my son is so bad. How dare he do that? Oh, there's something wrong with him. There ain't nothing wrong with me. I just woke up and I realized what you were doing and why there's no business. It's not just the economy. That's part of it. But that's not all of it. Because economy, yeah, I should still have work here because your work sells itself. It doesn't need an invention. It sells itself. It is an invention. And the thing is, I should have work. It's down, but it should not be non-existent. So, if you want to do something good, you need to unravel what you've done. This web of deception, what you sold to Debbie and Jim, her husband, if that's his name, and told him all these things that Stuart told him and ruined my opportunity to get a job with their son. So, you need to start being truthful with your friends and tell them the truth about how Stuart is and tell the truth about all the things that he's told and what you all told that isn't the truth. I'm sorry I have to do this. But you know what? I don't care anymore because I'm so mad about this because my life's been ruined by you and by Stuart and also by other people in the family. And I just want to get it back. And I want to get my work back. So if you want to have a relationship with me, then you need to undo what you've done. And if you have to lose friends because of it, so be it. Because you did that yourself. I didn't do it. You did it. So you think about that. I'll see you later. This is another update of the drama of the family.